Hello there, Eddie Mercado here with BloodyElbow.com, and I'm about to speak with the 7-3 Alex the Spartan Nicholson as he is headed to Stockholm, Sweden to take on Jack Hermansson in his backyard at UFC Fight Night 109. So let's give Alex a call and find out what he's been up to since his last fight in Mexico City, find out what he has in store for Stockholm, Sweden, and maybe thoughts on his training partner, Mike Platinum Perry.
Hello?
Mr. Alex Nicholson, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. Yeah, man, thank you so much for taking out the time. I know you're very busy, huge fight coming up. Right now, you're 7-3 in your professional MMA career, headed into your 4th UFC fight in Stockholm, Sweden, of all places. How are things?
Yeah, things are going great, man. I've got no complaints. I'm blessed, man. I'm ready to go out there and perform.
I dig it. Now, the first time I got to see you fight was back in March of 2015. It was Island Fights 33. Roy Jones Jr. was the headliner. I was actually scoping out ATT heavyweight prospect Chaz Morgan, and you were on the billing taking on this enormous guy that seemed to have like 30 pounds on you or something crazy like that. I forget his name, something Kleckler. And
Dylan Kleckler.
Dylan Kleckler, that's right. And
yeah.
you hit him with the spinning back fist and knocked him out. What in the world were you doing fighting at heavyweight? I have to ask.
I was having trouble finding fights, man. The light heavyweight. Well, I started at 85. That's where I'm back to now, obviously at the highest level. But started out, I beat a top-ranked guy, and then I was having trouble finding fights. And you can always travel, but when you're not in a huge organization, they don't pay for a lot of the stuff. So it's hard to be able to afford to travel. And I saw Dylan fight Richard White, who I trained with before, when I made my heavyweight debut against Chase Sherman. And I beat Chase Sherman actually with the spinning back fist. And then I followed it up with a nice elbow. And then I got the call to fight Dylan Kleckler. And I thought, hey, man, it's a big dude, but my technique's there. I think I can survive. And if you watch the video, he actually lands an overhand right that broke my nose. You can still tell it's a little bit crooked. But
nice.
Then it was actually my elbow that clipped Dylan. I hit him with a spinning elbow. I thought I almost had him done at the first round. A lot of people are like, oh, he just throws spinning stuff out of nowhere. But I throw spinning back kicks, back fists, back elbows, heel kicks. If it lands, it's devastating. I mean, you can see the results over the history of martial arts. I mean, Edson Barbosa, Terry Idom, or whatever his name was. Mm-hmm. But if it lands, Uriah Hall and The Ultimate Fighter, it's something to be remembered, and it's devastating, and it's a technique I throw. You could say the same thing about a guy winging an overhand right. If it lands, it lands, and it's devastating. But, Dylan Kleckler, I had the mindset that no man could beat me, and if you're the heavyweight champion of the world, you're the biggest, baddest dude in the world. So I like the sound of that. I lifted some heavy weights, trained hard with my father, and got my diet right. The biggest I got to was 212, and them guys are 265, so it probably did look a little bit funny at the face-off, but people didn't think that it was funny when he was laying there unconscious. So, you know.
And same thing. In your very next fight, a few months later, you actually fought Chaz Morgan, who I believe cuts to make heavyweight, to make the 265 limit. You got in some early trouble. I think he broke your jaw early in the fight.
He landed a big, powerful shot, and it broke my jaw in 2 places. Doctor said my wisdom tooth was coming in, and the jawbone filled in that space. And it was rough, man. That was the only fight I ever had where I took a step back and I bit down on my mouthpiece and I felt my gums fold in. You could see I had a bigger tooth, and my mandible was split in half.
Wow.
And then I realized it was, fight or flight, and I'm not the type to run away. And so I really focused in. I remember that feeling, man. I remember being dialed in. And I knew my jaw was broken because when I bit down on the mouthpiece, my gums folded in. Now blood filled my mouth. I tried to breathe, and it was blood. And, you want to keep your mouth closed. So I had to open it and breathe And then it was like what is it, The Matrix? Like everything felt slowed down a little bit, and I think it was God, man. God dialed me in and tuned me into my senses, and I was able to focus. And if you watch the video, it's on YouTube. Chaz actually swings an overhand right, and I throw a front kick to his quad, which makes this his overhand, which would have, destroyed the rest of my face probably. He's a big dude. I don't care who you are. You get hit by that, you're in trouble. And it misses. I throw a left hook, connects, he goes down, then I pound his head into the ref, pulls me off of him. And there was a lot going into that fight, a lot of words, but, the words don't mean much in battle. But once he was down, it felt good to pound on his face a little bit extra while he was unconscious, man. And nothing for nothing, man. That was a tough one. And then I did get the call soon after breaking my jaw.
You really got your ticket punched. You got called up short notice at 205 pounds against top prospect Misha Serkinov. Again, you suffered a broken jaw in that one. Did your jaw?
A lot of people don't understand that was the second time I broke my jaw. A lot of people think, Serkinov cranked and broke his face. Not taking anything away from that guy's grappling ability. He's probably one of the best grapplers on the planet. And that's something I'm working on. I've gotten a lot better. I learned my lesson, obviously, getting your face broken on national television and the biggest thing you've ever done, biggest achievement as far as sports in my life. That sent me back, man. But, a lot of people, I believe, wouldn't have continued to fight after having their jaw wired shut for 9 weeks, man. It was rough. And then got the call. Like I said, a lot of people don't know. Right before I fought Serkinov, before I signed that contract, I won my first pro boxing match because I was short on money. Okay. I cut the wires out, did my pro boxing match, and won. Then they called, and it was kind of stupid taking that boxing match. I just got the wires cut off, but I needed the money, so I went out there and same thing. I didn't get touched. I knocked the guy out. Then Misha cranked down and broke my face again, and there was nothing I could do about that. It wasn't really a locked-in submission either. I mean, he was cross-facing, I was defending. Usually any good grappler knows to go 2-on-1, 2 hands on the one on your neck. And I got out and up against Misha, which nobody really in any of his other fights have gotten back up once he's gotten them down. So I look at that and I say, wow, I did a good job. Maybe if I could have calmed down, I could have weathered the storm. But either way, my jaw was not healthy. So
that's what I was going to ask. Did your jaw even have time to heal from Island Fights 34?
It never healed properly. I actually found out that the surgeon that did it did an old, outdated technique of doing it. They screwed it into my gums the second time, so it was much tighter around. The bone had the chance to fuse properly. So it's kind of a fucked up thing to say, but it was a blessing in disguise that Misha rebroke my jaw, because the medical staff that attended to it here was a lot better than the one that did it up there. And with the UFC healing it for me, taking care of it for me, now I'm set, man. You see me take some shots from Devin Clark and Sam Alvey, and I can take them again. I'm good. I've been doing a lot of work with pro boxers. My jaw is healthy and strong, and ready to trade some blows.
Okay, now you really made the most of your UFC debut. You at the weigh-ins, you proposed to your girlfriend. That's like the ultimate brownie points. You're on TV. It's like big stage. Did you know you were gonna do that? You had to. You had the ring and everything. But was that
What's funny was I originally wanted to do it after my victory against Chaz at Island Fights, and my jaw was broken. And then there was another time I was going to do it in Clearwater Beach on the top of some clear revolving rooftop thing, one of them things. And then the moment wasn't right. My jaw was still wired shut, and I couldn't enjoy dinner with her. I talk like this, and that's kind of, to me now I'll laugh at it. But back then I was like, fuck you. You think this is funny? You laugh at your pain as it goes by. But, I was able to get her the ring she wanted, and it's the biggest moment in my life, and she's gotten into martial arts, and it was definitely the biggest stage. A lot of people say, oh, you just did it for people and this and that, but it was for her, man. I love that girl, and I was more nervous about proposing at weigh-ins than I was fighting Misha Serkinov and making my debut, because it's really not a big deal for me to fight, man. But that, it was great to be able to do that, and no matter what you do, people are gonna talk, man. So it was more about me doing that, letting her know that she's the biggest, most important thing. And to me, that my family and my friends go first, man, above all things. So that was able to signify that for me the best, man. So, and I was glad that I was able to show the world at the same time. And it was pretty cool. I think we were Sports Center number 4 on the top 10.
Okay.
So it was really cool, man. And
that's
of course, it would have been a little cooler if I won as well, but that really had nothing to do with that because, the fights come and go. So I look back at that time and I remember the woman I care about more than anything saying she wanted to spend her life with me. So a lot of people saying like, oh, he should focus on his fight. Like, don't get it twisted. I was focused, man. And that didn't take nothing away from it. And if I could go back, I would do it all the same way. It's, obviously I might fight a little bit smarter in both the fights and try not to have my jaw broken. But how many people can say I fought a monster and he broke my jaw and I still knocked him out? Like, I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. I see you're on social media. You got pictures or videos of her, like, cracking pads and like still going at it, and you have a baby on the way, right?
Oh yeah, man. Odin. His name's gonna be Odin.
Okay.
Hannah, as well as 1-0 as a professional fighter. She made her debut on Anna Fights and she won. That was actually Mikey's last knockout before he got the call to fight in the UFC as well. But she's planning on we're popping our baby boy out, and she would like to get her second pro fight within 6 months to a year after, depending on how everything goes, God willing. And we're really excited, man. I've never had more motivation than I do now. Before, it was win for me to, progress. And now it's not like I want to win for myself. Now I have to win for my family. There's not many other things I want to do in my life or that I feel really capable of, in the sense that I would push myself. And this is my passion, man. I'm going to win for my son. I'm going to win for my queen. Even my dogs, bro.
Yes, sir.
They need bones. There's things that need to be taken care of, bro. I'm going to go out there and paint that canvas with this man's blood for my family, not just for me anymore. And I can't allow him to hurt me. He's not going to hurt me, man. I have a month after that fight, I'm going to hold that baby boy with a big smile on my face, knowing that my abilities are providing for him, her, these dogs, my sister, my parents. And that's the way I look at it. A lot of people don't like the mentality, man. And I'm not going to let that opponent hurt me. I'm not going to let him do physical harm. I'm going to hurt him. And I will talk about it that way. I will talk about taking his life in there because I'm trying to. I'm trying to kill him because he should be trying to kill me. And if he's not, then he's gonna die. That's
real rap. It's true. It's honest. It's true. Hey, it is what it is.
It's mentality, man.
And in your sophomore appearance, you faced Devin Clark in his hometown. A little bit of trash talking. At the end of the round, into the first, he botched the takedown. You caught him off guard in a bad position, started whacking on him, knocked him out unconscious. You got on the microphone, and it seemed like you really won the crowd over a little bit. Do you think that experience is gonna, kind of taking someone's head in their hometown, gonna help you out in Sweden?
Yeah, man, I love the underdog role. Like you talked about me fighting Dylan Kleckler in Pensacola. He was hometown, born and raised. That was his town. I went in there and took it from him and made it mine. They love me out there, and I'm actually really cool with Dylan now. We talk. I know his brother. When last time I went up there, I hung out with them guys, so I got no hard feelings. But yeah, man, I love to go where everybody wants me to lose. That, it takes the pressure off, kind of. Like when you're Conor McGregor status, everyone expects you to win. I like these people that don't know me, and they don't know the things I've done. They don't know that I've gone and fought monsters. A lot of people haven't seen those fights, and that's cool with me, man. It was they asked me what I'm going to do to him, and I said, "You tell me." I fought bigger, stronger, more athletic strikers, and I've submitted better grapplers. So tell me what he's going to do to me. And yeah, everyone there might be booing me. South Dakota, they didn't like me, and if it's fuck me, then it's fuck you, man. I mean, like Sam Alvey, nicest guy in the world, didn't have a problem with him. We fought, still a good friend of mine. But like this guy tagged me in some shit the other day of his little workout video. Like, dude, don't tag me. Don't mention my name. I don't tag you in my videos.
You talking about Hermansson? Jack Hermansson did?
Yeah.
The Joker?
Video of him in the park. That's the thing. You know, you call yourself the Joker. This isn't a joke, man. This is real life. And I'm going to come at you with the intent to hurt you. And don't mention my name. So, all he did was saying, I can't wait to fight Alex Nicholson in Sweden in front of my people, blah, 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 whatever. And I wrote, I'm going to come in there and I'm going to crack your fucking skull in. Like, don't say my name, bro. Don't mention me, man. You know, I would love, there's nothing better than the experience of traveling there. You know, respect is respect, but I feel a little bit of disrespect just because of the fact that he thinks he can beat me, but of course he should think that and all that, but fuck that, dude. I'm coming to hurt you. And yeah, I hope to gain a lot of fans worldwide by doing that, you know?
Yeah.
No matter how bad I hurt him, I'll scoop his limp body up off the mat. Good try, bro. Maybe you'll get the next one. I wish you the best. But don't, I can't take that intensity away. I would rather hate you until it's over.
Yeah, and there's something to be said for intensity. I mean, it really does carry you a long way, especially against someone who kind of lacks intensity or is somewhat of a slow starter, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't see any way that he could beat me, man. I really don't. I would think I'm a better, bigger, stronger person anywhere it goes. And if he underestimates my ground game, I'm gonna choke his ass unconscious.
Well, in your last fight, you took on Sam Alvey in Mexico City at like 5,000 feet elevation, something wild like that. I mean, we've seen it before where guys will show up in Mexico not ready, not prepared. They gas out really early. But, I mean, you guys really showed up in shape. I mean, you really went the full 15 and didn't really slow down at all. Did you notice the altitude or do special training for it or anything?
I went there early with my father, and we ran in the pyramids. We really embraced Mexico, man. We went everywhere. We went where they told us not to go. We ran around, man. We trained hard. My father lost, I think, 25 pounds in Mexico. We went there about 10 days early. And over that period, I cut like 15 pounds out and made weight no problem. And me and Sam went at it, man. We did go at it. And I know he's a counter fighter, and I learned a lot in that fight, chasing him. I wish I would have stayed back and just been patient. And I feel like I would have won. But a lot of people don't know this hand was broken going into that fight. So I fought him with one hand.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm not taking anything away from him, but
yeah, for sure. Now,
it gives me some confidence knowing I went into that fight, fought the number 12th ranked guy in my division with one arm, and I lost a decision that a lot of people said they thought I should have won. So,
yeah, it was definitely a real close decision.
And I'm not happy unless I get the knockout. I didn't do my job. If I don't submit you or knock you out, that's not my job. I didn't do my job. But taking nothing away from Sam. He said he trained in Big Bear in Northern California. He ran. He was definitely in shape, and we pushed the pace. I chased him, and he went for a takedown, which I was kind of surprised. I fought out, and he didn't get it. And that fight just I feel like it just got away from me. The 15 minutes went by, and I was ready for more. And I'm not going to let that happen again.
Well, the Spartan World Tour is continuing. You're heading over to Sweden. Have you ever traveled outside of North America before?
Nope. I've just Canada, Mexico, all North America, man. This will be my first time, and Hannah's gonna be. She's coming, man. She'll be real pregnant. But we're ready. The team's ready. My father will be there. Mike's going to the retreat they got an athlete retreat for everybody in the UFC. It's a little bit too close for my fight, but he's helping me train big time, and he's deciding whether or not he wants to fly out, depending on what he has to come up. But if he's got a fight coming up, he's got to focus on that. That's where we're at now. We'd like to be there for each other, but got to focus on business. But we're excited to go to Sweden, man. We're very, very excited. I heard it's an amazing place with amazing people, and I feel like traveling helps open you up, open your mind up to new things, and everything all kind of correlates together, man. Is just expand you as a person.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. How's training camp going for this?
Great. I've never been this healthy. We were just talking about that. I fought with a semi-broken jaw. I fought with a broken hand, and I have no injuries right now. I stubbed my toe earlier, but I think I'll be all right. I'm healthy. I'm very strong right now. I've never had this long of a training camp, and my training partners are doing well. Julian Williams just beat the best guy in Atlanta, and hopefully soon Julian will be joining us at the big show. And he's an amazing grappler and taps out black belts. And I've been working that big time ever since Misha, man. So I feel very, very well-rounded. I've been running. We just moved into this home. We got a nice, beautiful home.
Oh, congratulations. Congratulations.
I got a truck, man, and the hard work's paying off, man. Everything I ever wanted to. These guys complain about our paychecks, and obviously, sure, I would like more. I would always like more, but I have a house, I have a car, my family's going to be taken care of, and I'm going to go knock Jack out in devastating fashion, and hopefully turn my 20 into 70.
Okay, so I did. So I guess that's your prediction, knockout. Do you have a particular round you see it going down in?
I am going to hit him hard. I'm going to hit him fast. Whenever he shows that chink in his armor, it's going to be exposed, and it's I won't even say knockout, man. If I'm feeling very well rounded the way I've been training. If I see a takedown, I'll slam him on his neck. I'm going to win, and it's going to end before 15 minutes is up, and whether it's me breaking one of his limbs, choking him unconscious, or knocking him unconscious, that's all I see for myself. And that's not even a cocky statement, man. I'm very, very confident in my abilities and my training partners in this camp, and I don't see anybody beating me. And that's, even after I beat Devin Clark, they said, oh, he called out Michael Bisping. That's how I felt after that. I was ready to fight him right then and there. Anybody, man, I don't, people get our mindsets twisted, but I believe I'm the best, and until somebody can prove me otherwise, my health, God's been blessing me, man, and I'm going to continue to use those blessings to the best of my ability.
I dig it. I definitely dig it. Now, I want to talk about Mike Perry for a second. That elbow he landed on Jake Ellenberger. Oh, my God. That is probably the most vicious elbow I've ever seen in my entire life. Were you guys working on that going into there?
Mike said that once the distance got closed, he was going to throw hard knees and hard elbows because he knew Jake was going to be going for the takedown. He did say, he said an elbow or his left hook. I think he had, we're always working stuff like that, man. Like I said, we've had knockouts like with a lot less people watching. There's not, some of it I wish we had tapes of. But since we first started, man, I've seen Mike do a lot of devastating things to a lot of different people, and I was not surprised.
Yeah,
I was not surprised at all. He's a vicious, savage animal. I think that he's one of the best fighters in the world, man. It's just a different thing. Alan Jouban, he didn't really fight him. Like, if you watch Sam's fight with Elias Theodoro, I think it was very similar. Some guys, that's their strategy, and they're okay with winning a decision. But as far as fans go, and I think the true spirit of being a martial artist, like the old days, it got a little bit carried away because guys got tired and it got boring and they couldn't finish because they're both so exhausted. But like I said, I look at it like a fight to the death, man. And if you don't kill me, you don't leave me unconscious to the point where the ref pulls me off to where you could have killed me, if I'm not unconscious. I'm not surprised at all that Mike's ranked as one of the best in the world, and I'm planning on joining him very soon. I'd like to, you never know what's going to happen, but I don't see this man stopping me, and I would like to get back in there as soon as possible and continue to climb, man.
Okay. Now, this is your 4th UFC fight. Are you still in your first UFC contract?
Yeah, right now. We could have renegotiated, but I decided to wait, fill up this last fight, and get back to talking to them guys. I know that they were very happy with my performance against Devin. I know that they, Sean Shelby, I talked to him after the fight. He enjoyed my performance against Sam. And this one, I'm going to go out there and make a big statement and, increase my value as a fighter. And I have to go do that. I mean, it's part of the job. A lot of these guys are complaining about their pay, and they want more, which is understandable. But this is great for me, man. I got no complaints. You want to pay me $20,000 each fight? I'm good. I'm not going to complain too much, man. Until enough of us will get together and agree that we're not going to do that. And, a little lockout, whatever the NFL did and all that stuff. I just don't think there's always somebody else that'll fight for $20,000.
This is very true. Now, is there like anyone in particular that you maybe have your mind set on that afterwards you might call them out on the microphone or something like that? I know the UFC is huge on that. They really want guys calling each other out.
I mean, that's just, there's a couple guys who I could see being easier wins, I guess, in that sense. It's in the 85 division. It's like nobody I feel like would want to fight Jacare or Robert Whittaker. Just beat Jacare, and he's not getting a title shot still. And then Anderson Silva basically knocked out Michael Bisping and then lost the decision.
Dan Henderson.
Yeah, Dan Henderson definitely beat Michael Bisping. It's kind of crazy to me in that sense, but you have to get the knockout completely to win, and so you can't leave it to the judges. So trust me, I know. But I don't know, man. They're talking about bringing GSP. Is that for sure happening now? Is that for sure?
It's still like up in the air. Nothing is solid yet.
But I saw the Anderson Silva thing. Him talking about how if he's going to retire, he's going to retire if he doesn't get the shot. But who else is more deserving? The man's like 41 years old. He knocked out the champ, and like you said, I don't know, man. It's just kind of crazy. I don't know. A big good guy for me to fight, I think, would be like a Derek Brunson. Because he's a top-ranked guy. And, that'd be a good fight just because his rankings. I got no problem with him personally, but just, it's like Highlander. I'm going to cut your head off and take all that power, bro. I would love to fight Robert Whittaker, but, calling out guys like that, it's like, he would look at it like, what do I have to gain from beating him?
Sure.
And dangerous fight. I think that's why a lot of guys in this division are shying away from me because they know that I've got power in these hands, and if I land, it's over. Even Sam, I was like, man, come on, it was close, let's go. And it's like, what does he have to gain out of fighting me? And it's a big risk. But I would like, guys ahead of me on the poll. Me and Jack are pretty close. I think he was 37 and I'm like 39. So I'll move up the rankings a little. But, like Mike just did, do something devastating in the eyes of the fans and all that. Who knows how quick up you're going to fly because those rankings don't really make much sense.
No.
I think in the world I'm ranked higher at heavyweight because I'm 3-0 at heavyweight. So I think on my highest ranking is as a heavyweight fighter.
Well, with Rumble Johnson retiring, 205 is starting to get wide open. It's
funny. I don't want to sound like, the McGregor following, but I fought heavyweight, I fought 205, and I fought middleweight. And I've beaten a UFC fighter who fights in the UFC at heavyweight. And so, I'm open to fighting in other weight classes for sure. But like I said, I would like to beat Jack and get back in there as soon as possible and pull a Cerrone, hopefully a month later, injuries willing. And, Yeah, there's nothing better I could think about getting a KO victory, my son being born healthy and strong, and getting back in there and getting another one.
Yeah, living the life, man. I definitely dig it.
I love life, man.
You got any sponsors or people you want to give a special shout out to?
Yeah, Elite Spine. My friend Rachel, she takes good care of making sure everything's functioning properly. G&G Roofing. My buddy is one of my clients. He's got a big roofing company down here. They take good care of me. Central Florida Arbor. This is an Arbor company, but one of my neighbors growing up, they always help me out. Pete White, my boxing coach, American Top Team Orlando, Julian Williams, Fusion XL, all them people, man, that love, care about me. Everyone who supports me, man, I appreciate all of you. And Thunder Fights, it's a big amateur promotion down here. They're looking at going pro soon here in Florida. So Gabriel and Therese, thank you guys for all the support. And my dog Jax. He's a savage animal too.
I see.
Don't let the smile fool you.
Absolutely.
But that's it, man.
Cool.
Thank God, man. Thank you for your time.
Oh, absolutely. Now, how can we follow you on your journey? What are your social media outlets? Twitter, Facebook?
I am Spartan Life 32 on Instagram and Twitter, and I just made that public. So go follow me. Facebook, Alex Spartan Nicholson.
Dope, man. Well, Alex Nicholson, thank you so much for taking out the time. Jack Hermansson in your crosshairs in Stockholm, Sweden, May 28th. Best of luck to you, sir.
Hey, God bless, man. Thank you for the time.
Yes, sir. You have a good one.
You too.
So there you have it. Alex the Spartan Nicholson headed over to Stockholm, Sweden to take on Jack Hermansson in his backyard at UFC Fight Night 109. Go check that out. In the meantime, you can read me over at bloodyelbow.com. You can follow me on Twitter at @Mercado. If you like this interview, you can subscribe to my channel right here. Subscribe to Bloody Elbow's YouTube channel right there. Check out these interviews. Now go be a good person.